Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Modern Mining. Well, today we're gonna take a look at how to mine another coin. I know I've been making a lot of how to mine X, Y, and Z coin, and that's because we're in honestly a pretty great time for GPU mining. Not that profits are absolutely crazy yet, but the fact that we do have the option now to mine multiple different coins. For multiple months straight in 2024, there was basically two coins to mine. You could mine Zealous or you could mine Aleo. And now that those coins have both seen a little bit of price appreciation, mainly Zealous, that's drawing a lot of miners onto those coins and leaving a bunch of other ones open for us to profitably mine again. So today we're gonna take a look at Conflux. Conflux is a top 150 market cap coin, very big coin, been around since 2021. And that's a coin that I have zero of. I have no Conflux right now. And I made a video in the past on when do I expect that we'll have to sell all these altcoins that we've been mining, because you really do want to try to sell them in the peak of altcoin season to make the best returns. So we really only have a few more months to accumulate whatever coins we want to mine before we actually need to start thinking about selling those off. Anywhere between like March and June historically has been the best time to sell these coins. So time is ticking. We've got about 3 to 4 more months to acquire some of these coins. And that's why I've been diversifying my rigs, putting different ones on different coins to try to get multiple of these smaller bags. So let me show you what's going on with the farm, and then we'll take a look at how to mine Conflux. So right off the bat, you'll notice my bid axe is not on the wall. And unfortunately my bid axe gamma is the one that's missing. And I had quite the incident. So the other day, this was having issues, wasn't mining, and my nerd miner was also not mining. So I took out those power cords, and then I accidentally plugged the nerd miner cord into my bid axe gamma. And let me get you a close up of that. Immediately just burst into flames. Not like a crazy flame, but I mean, it definitely, I saw flames shoot up the back there. So this thing is unfortunately dead. I did not have it for very long. So be careful what power supply you plug into these. Obviously, I guess they're not compatible, even though the plugs are compatible. So that's just something that you need to watch out for. Though I do still have my little bid axe miner going strong there, so that's good at least. Now, what else do we have going on? Right now, all 3 of my rigs are on Aleo. I wanted to get a little bit more Aleo built up because I'm pretty sure that Bitmain is gonna announce an Aleo, or Aleo, however you say it, ASIC, hopefully around January timeframe. And my plan there is gonna be basically sell all my Aleo the second that announcement comes through, because I'm expecting there to be a bit of a price pump. But I do think it's probably going to go down after that pump. Now it's risky because it could keep going up, but I would like to just get out of Aleo. I'm not a huge fan of the coin itself, though I do love what it does for mining profitability. This guy still up on the Ergo and Warthog, did that in the last video. And I'm not on Flux right now because it's not as profitable as it was. But I'm going to be putting this smaller rig up on Conflux and see how that does. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so let's take a little bit of a closer look at Conflux, and specifically the price movement and what wallet you want to mine to, because this is not available on some of the simple exchanges I use like TradeOgre. So we're going to need to actually set up a wallet through their website, and they have what's called the Fluent wallet. So I'll walk you through that as well. But first off, if we check out a 3070 on hashrate NO with 11 cent kilowatt hour, you can see that Conflux is coming in at the number 4 most profitable coin, and PugDag has super low volume, so I wouldn't even consider that. Conflux is basically number 3. So by no means not a profitable coin. This is actually showing it higher than Zealous. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is that Conflux is a high power coin. It uses the Octopus algorithm, and it says each 3070 is going to be using about 140 watts. We're going to test that. Now, with it being wintertime in the US, a high wattage coin is not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're trying to heat your house. Then you can run algorithms like Kapow or Octopus that are higher wattage, assuming that your power supplies and your mining rigs are spec'd to be able to run about 150 watts per card. So if we click on this, The good thing about Conflux is it is located on some very good exchanges. So it's on Binance, it's on Gate, it's on MEXC, it's on CoinEx. Those are basically all the big dogs besides like the tier ones like Coinbase or some of the other ones. So quickly, let's take a look at the Conflux webpage. There's a couple things that I like about this. The first thing is that it has staking at 4% APY. So that means that any coin you mine, you could potentially stake and earn a little bit extra Conflux on top of the Conflux you already mined. But with it being so close to the altcoin pump that we're expecting, I probably wouldn't stake my coins because you want to be able to hit that sell button right when it's time to sell these coins, right when they get a huge pump. So I'll let you guys take a look at the rest of this site. So Conflux as a coin, it's a big coin. It's ranked 136, which is something that we like. It takes a little bit of the risk out of mining because if you don't manage to sell at the exact right time, then you can always wait 3 to 4 more years and you're going to have another opportunity. So Conflux started in about November 2020, had a huge run up in the last altcoin season all the way up to about $1.55, and then it's had a couple pumps since then. So all the way up to like 50 cents, 50 cents again, 50 cents as recent as March of 2024, and right now we're sitting at about 20 cents. So easily 3x potential to get back to the last pump, and then basically like a 7 to 8x potential to get back to all-time high, and hopefully we go even higher than that. So the market cap is almost at $1 billion. So again, not a small coin by any means. The last 30 days, let's take a look at that. We're up about 30%, but nothing crazy compared to what a lot of these other altcoins have done. So this is another prime example of a coin that I want to get a couple, maybe $50, $100 into my portfolio to have basically more chances at these huge returns. Basically, each of these little bags is like a little lotto ticket, and I want to get as many lotto tickets as I can, essentially. So first thing we need to do is to set up a wallet. So I'm going to be using the Fluent wallet. This is straight off of the Conflux homepage. We're just going to add this to Chrome, and I'm guessing it's a bit like a MetaMask wallet. So once you get it in Chrome, you're going to want to hit create. Set up a secure password. Make sure this is not something you've used on your email or honestly any other site. You want this to be totally random. We're going to be writing it down with our seed phrase anyway, so you don't really need to be able to remember it because you're always going to be looking it up when it comes to actually getting your coins out. All right, so I've got my password put in, and now we're going to get a new seed phrase. If you already had a Fluent wallet, you could import it, but we're going to get a brand new one. Okay, and I'm going to blur this out, but this is giving me my 12-word seed phrase, so I'm going to actually go get a piece of paper, write this down, and then hide it so that basically no one can ever find it. And I'm also going to make a copy and put it at my parents' house, so if I ever have like a house fire or anything crazy like that, I always have a backup copy of this wallet. And I recommend doing this with basically any paper wallet type coin that you have. Now that you've wrote that down, let's hit next. And it's going to make you actually put your seed phrase back in to make sure that you wrote it down correctly. This is a pretty good feature. And now we have our Conflux wallet. So if we want to receive Conflux to this wallet, we want to hit this button right here and copy our Conflux wallet. Now let's go into Hiveos, and we're going to go to flight sheets, add a new flight sheets. We'll type in CFX for Conflux, our wallet. We're going to hit add wallet right here. Paste in our address we just got, and we'll name this Fluent Conflux, and then save as a global wallet. And now for the pool, we're going to be using HEROMINERS, and you can see they have a ton of stratums here, so you're always going to be getting the best ping. I like to use USA East, that's the closest one to me. And then you can also set up a backup in case something happens to the East server, so I'll do USA West. Go ahead and hit apply. And then for the miner, we need to decide which miner to use. I personally like Regal Miner the best. I'm most familiar with it. And then we'll name our flight sheet Conflux Regal Miner. Now, the last thing we need to do that's important, because like I said, this is a high power coin, we need to put in a overclock or technically underclock settings. So if we go back to here, this is saying we want our core clock lock to be at 1400. And then memory offset on Linux is going to be 2600. So let's go back here. First off, we're going to get rid of our core clock offset here. and we'll lock this to 1400, and then we're going to get rid of the lock M clock as well, and we're going to change this to dash M clock. This is how you set an offset, and we're going to set that to, I think I said 2600, though that's a little high, and I have some 3060 Ti's in this rig, so let's maybe start with 2400 and see if we get any crashes. And then I'm also going to set a power limit in here just in case, and we're going to set that to 150. So this should be it. We can hit apply changes here, update, and then let's go ahead and apply this to, I know I said I was going to do the rig at the top, which would be the test rig, but let's actually do it on the gamble rig here. This is a mixture of 3070s and 3060 Ti's. Let's go ahead and go to flight sheet, and then our Conflux flight sheet right here, we just have to hit the rocket ship, and we should start seeing this mine shortly. All right, so you can see we are up and mining Octopus at 452 mega hash. Now, one thing you want to check is to see, are you getting about the recommended hash rate on HashRate.NO? And we can see here we're getting 37.7 per card, but if we go to HashRate.NO, it says we should be getting about 57.92 for 140 watts. So we are getting less hash rate, but we're also getting less watts. So what I like to do in situations like this is actually calculate the efficiency, because maybe we're better off getting less hash rate for less watts. So let's actually check that real quick, and I'll show you guys how I do it. Is I just take 37.7 divided by, let's just say 100 watts or maybe 95 watts, and that's going to give us an efficiency of 0.396. And if we compare that with the efficiency on HashRate.NO, with the 140 watt number, they claim to be getting 0.41. So what's going on here? Why aren't we getting the full hash rate? And that's because I still have my Aleo overclocks actually set in the Hiveos UI. So let's clear these and let's just see how this affects our hash rate. So I'm going to clear those, and then I'm going to stop the miner and restart it with this pickaxe up here. But real quickly, let's just get a quick efficiency for our entire farm here. So 452.6 mega hash divided by 1283 is our power. So this will allow us to compare all of the cards on this low power setting versus all of the cards on the high power setting once it's enabled. So we refresh this, it stopped the miner, let's restart this, and it should apply our flight sheet overclocks right here. And I'll check back in and we'll check the efficiency. So when I refresh this here, I'm not really getting anything, which makes me think that something crashed. So I'm gonna go into the miner log here and check. If something did crash, it's likely that a memory clock setting is too high, but let's go ahead and confirm right here. And yep, you can see here that GPU overclock is too high. So let's just go into our flight sheet and let's actually set this down to maybe just 2000 at first. 2400 is pretty high. So since we had an error, I'm just going to go ahead and shut down and boot this rig in 30 seconds. When it comes back on, it will get that new overclock and we'll be able to monitor this. Okay, so that took a little while to actually get it working. I ended up having to drop the memory clock all the way down to 1200 to get it to stop crashing. Now, what you would want to do, and what I'll do off camera, is basically set individual memory offsets for each card so that you can get the best overclock settings for each card. But let's check our efficiency here. Are we much better off with higher power? So 724.8 divided by 2000 watts on the dot. You can see that we are actually better efficiency with these current settings, though we are running pretty hot here. So we're running 150 watts per card. Thankfully, I put that power limit in. I'm sure you could dial these a little better. It would just take some tinkering. So we're getting about 60.5 mega hash per card, which is pretty good for a total mega hash of 725. Now we'll go to HEROMINERS pool and we'll put in our address and just make sure that everything is showing up correctly. So we'll go to flight sheet, grab our wallet, and then we can paste this in the bottom of HEROMINERS here. And there we go. We can see last share submitted less than a minute ago. So that looks all good. Next thing we'll do is we'll put our hash rate into this handy HEROMINERS calculator here. And this is showing us that we're going to be making 30 Conflux a day, which is basically about $6.50. But the next thing we need to do is to set our payout threshold. Now, we're not mining to an exchange in this video, so we don't have to be sure that it's exactly one a day. But if you do want to change it, you just go up to this icon up here, put your IP address into this field right here and then set your payout threshold. I'm going to set mine to 6 in this video. And then boom, that is set. We are now up and mining Conflux. That's how you do it. Now I'm probably going to lower this down to the overclocks we had originally, which were about the same efficiency, but like 33% less power. And I'm gonna do that because my house is already too hot in the winter. I need less heat, not more. I haven't even moved my GPU mining rigs inside, and I'm still having to leave basically all the windows open and sometimes actually turn on my exhaust fan in the basement to suck cold air into the rest of my house. So hopefully when it gets a little colder, I can move some rigs inside, but right now I definitely do not need to do that. So I'm probably going to revert this back to the lower power settings. So that's about it, guys. Let me know down below, what are you mining? And in the meantime, I'll leave 2 videos up here. Be sure to check them out on your way out. Thanks for watching.